Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Kareem's Bean Pie is also available at Davison Fresh Fish Market, 1520 East 7 Mile Road in Detroit. Royal Fresh Fish and Seafood, 11429 East 7 Mile Road in Detroit. And Great Canadian Fish, Chicken, and Seafood, 7601 East 7 Mile Road. Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
We stand with our feet at a 45-degree angle, with our hands open. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, the alone do we serve, and the alone beseech for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is earth to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. We'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters that extended us the greetings of Assalamu alaikum. We have brother the Rafiq family. We have Minister Jasir Kabir from Richmond, Virginia. We have brother Abdul Ali from Tampa. We have brother Calvin Shabazz from Atlanta. We have brother Dion Gavin from Ohio. And I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Today we'd like to talk about the October 24th, 1969 Muhammad Speaks, and the title is The Decision. And the Messenger also had a reprint of this same article on the March 22nd, 1974 Muhammad Speaks, called The Decision. So we want to reiterate that the Messenger continued to say the same thing over and over again to get forth to our people and to us, to let us know the truth. So the Messenger says, he says, the day of decision, we are now living in the time in which we must decide on what we shall do. It is very important that we arrive at a solution, come to a definitive agreement. A definitive agreement. Now, what does definitive mean? Because a lot of times we don't like to make definitive decisions. We like to straddle the fence. But the Messenger says when it comes to the decision, we got to make the definitive agreement. And definitive is of a conclusion or agreement, final and not able to be changed. That's what definitive means. So once you choose between Islam and Christianity, you making a definitive decision and a definitive agreement. Meaning, this is a binding contract type of deal. Like you sign your name on the dotted line when it comes to Islam and the rules and regulations. It's a definitive decision. Yes. It's a you got to make up your mind kind of thing. Right. It ain't no straddling the fence. Right. Because the Messenger says, which one will survive the war of Armageddon? Which one? And in this this article, the Messenger got a cartoon. And in the cartoon, it has the Christian cross, which says a limited future. Then it has the star and crescent, and it has unlimited future. and it got the brothers standing at the crossroads. Like, which one do I choose?
Right.
Which choice do I make? Because this is a definitive choice. You see, in these rows, it ain't no fence in between here. So he can decide to go straddle the fence. It's a road one way or a road the other way.
Right.
All praises due to Allah. Because under Christianity, we live the lives of the prodigal son. That's the type of life we live. And what does prodigal mean? Because a lot of times we hear that word prodigal son and we don't actually know what does prodigal actually mean. And the word prodigal means spending money or resources freely and recklessly, wastefully and extravagant. That's what prodigal means. So we are like that prodigal son. We spending money extravagantly, wastefully. We waste our money under Christianity. We live in the life of the prodigal son because when the white man had these Arabs come over here and open up these stores, they don't have to put nothing on the sign but say beer, wine, and lotto. They ain't got to name it nothing, just beer, wine, and lotto.
That's right.
And the prodigal son, he gonna go because we living our life, we that prodigal living.
Right.
We wasteful.
Right.
So we spend our money on the lotto. We waste our money on alcohol. We go down to MGM. We go down to Greektown Casino because we live in the life of the prodigal son. That's under Christianity.
Right.
But in Islam, it's a totally different thing.
Right.
That's why the messenger said we making a definitive decision. We got to make up our mind on which one we going to choose. Because Christianity is falling.
That's right.
Christianity not going to live forever.
Right.
So the messenger used to have cartoons in the Muhammad speech showing us the difference between Islam and Christianity. Because we got to know that Islam is our natural way of living.
Yes, sir.
That's our nature. To submit to the will of Allah. That's our nature. That's natural for the black man to do.
Right.
But it's not natural for the white man to do. So when you have a religion that the white man made up, which is Christianity, he separates God from religion. So I get me a fifth of Hennessy, but I know I wouldn't drink it in church. Because I know God ain't with that.
Right.
I get me some dice. But I ain't gonna go into church and shoot dice with my friends. Because I know God isn't, he ain't with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things in Christianity that you know. I'm not gonna go to the church and curse. God ain't with that. But when I get home, I drink my fifth. When I get home, I shoot dice. When I get home, I curse. But in Islam, it's different.
Right.
If you wouldn't drink in the temple, then you don't drink at home.
Right.
If you wouldn't shoot dice in the temple, you don't shoot dice at home because God is a part of our religion. All praise be to Allah. 24/7.
Yes.
We don't separate it. We include Allah 24 hours a day.
That's right.
They don't do that in Christianity because the white man had to make up a religion that's in line with his nature.
Right.
He's not a man who submit to the will of Allah. So if Allah say you don't do, the white man naturally want to do it. So we're not supposed to drink strong drink. We're not supposed to do that. So the white man, since he separate his religion from his God, he'll say, well, we don't drink in the church because the church is God's house. Not the planet Earth, but the church. The church is God's house. That's the only place God lives is in the church. So when you're in the church, you know how to act right. You know how to be a good Christian in the church. But when you go home, the rest of that time, you do everything you know God don't want you to do.
Right.
It's not like that in Islam. Islam is entire submission to the will of Allah.
Right.
So when you make this definitive decision, you decide that you're going to devote your entire life to Allah.
Yes.
And His laws and His rules.
Yes.
Islam ain't like Christianity.
That's right.
That's why the messenger shows us in this cartoon. It shows the black man who was living a prodigal life walking into the mosque. Then it shows the Christians who also live in that prodigal life walking into the church. So when the Muslims come out of the mosque, they clean. But when the Christians come out of the church, they still look like the prodigal son. They still look like they're going to participate in prodigal living. So the Christians look at the Muslims and say, what happened to you? Man, you certainly look sharp now. And the Muslims say, Muhammad washes you up in there. And the Christians say, and sister, what happened to you? No makeup? And then it says the so-called Negro must clean up. Right. All praise due to Allah. That's Islam. Yeah. We got to clean up in this definitive decision that we making for Islam. Now in Christianity, you don't have to clean up. In Christianity, they just want you clean enough to come to church. And once you're in the church, everything else is your business. Right. But in Islam, ain't no your business. If you break the laws and the rules, it's consequences. Right. Ain't no, oh, this is my business, so I'm going to go over here and smoke this cigarette. And it's my business, I'm going to go get me some liquor. No, because 24 hours a day, all day long, the rules and the laws, you making a definitive decision. Right. So the messenger goes on to say, he says, you black man of America are holding back your decision. You are waiting because the people who have brought this day of decision to us by their way of rule, their rule is the way of injustice. And the messenger says, now the God of justice is before us, and we must decide upon whether or not we will accept a change of rulers or remain under the present rule that is passing from the scene. So when we're talking about accepting Islam, we're not just talking about accepting a religion. That's the one thing we got to get straight between Islam and Christianity. Islam is not a religion. Islam is a way of life. All praise due to Allah. Christianity is a religion because it's not a way of life. It's just something that they do. They say they follow Jesus. That's what they say they practice. So they follow Jesus in the church, but then they come home and do something different. But Islam is a way of life. And Islam is going to rule. Yes. Islam is not just something we're going to be doing for thousands of years here in the white man's world. We just going to be Muslims and they're going to be Christians and that's how we going to live. It ain't going to be like that. Allah came here to establish a government. And the planet Earth is the home of Islam. Yes. The planet Earth. It ain't going to be nowhere on the earth that you're going to be able to drink your Hennessy. It ain't nowhere on the earth you're going to be able to smoke your Newports and your Cools. Right. The planet Earth is the home of Islam. So this definitive decision is from now on. Right. Yes. It ain't like I can decide on Islam and then I'm going to choose Christianity because I don't like Islam no more. No, it don't go like that. Once you choose Islam, you in it for the long haul. Right. From now on. Right. Ain't no I'm going back because Allah holds us responsible for our choice. Yes. Right. That's what we got to know. Right. This is like a contract you sign with the white man. It's binding. And he holds you to it. When you sign your name on the dotted line, he holds you to it. Allah holds us to our contract too. Once we say we Muslims, right. He blesses us and he could take them blessings away. That's right. That's Allah. Because he establishing the government and this us by nature. This ain't nothing hard for us to do. No. We Muslim by nature. That's right. Because any Muslim or any person who listen to the teachings of the messenger, you know it's true. Yeah. You know the white man the devil. Right. Yes. Oh, praise be to Allah. Every black man in America know the white man the devil. That's right. Every black man know that. You don't have to really be sitting down, getting in depth in the teachings of the messenger to know the white man's the devil. Look around you. Right. Look at the history of the white man. Right. Now the white man have changed. We can say that. He's changed a lot, but he's still the devil. That's right. Still the devil. We saw just recently that the white man went in Walmart with AK-47. So now instead of them lynching people, they got more better ways to kill people now. Right. AK-47 just walk in the mall. Dylan Roof, another devil, walk in the church. They house were God's house. Right. That don't even stop the devil. They teach us this God's house. Right. He walked in God's house. These people treated him like a brother. They sure did. Yes, he said that. Yep. He said they treated him nice. They accepted him. And he said for a minute, he was thinking like, dang, I'm about to kill them, but they accepted him. But that didn't change his heart. No. Because he's a devil by nature. That's right. He wicked by nature. Yes. They good by nature. So even how much they've seen how wicked and evil the white man is, they'll still try to accept it. Because we've been robbed of a knowledge of self. That's right. We don't know the devil.
Right.
We don't know he is a devil.
That's right.
We think he like us. So we'll give him a chance. Say he ain't like his father. He ain't like his brothers. Even though the 6,000 years of history we had with the white man, they've been the same.
Right.
We don't have no history nowhere where the white man been good to us.
That's right.
We can even look at Henry Ford. Henry Ford made the Model T with the cars. Now, he and the devils over here was treating us bad. Then you got in the Congo where they was getting them Goodyear tires from, these Model Ts.
Right.
They had another devil. His name was King Leopold.
Yeah.
This devil, if black people wouldn't make good rubber for these cars for his brother over here in America, he would not only make them eat rubber, tires from cars, eat rubber, but he will make them cut their hands and feet off on different sides. So he'll cut your right hand off and your left foot off. So he was telling black people to do this. So he started finding out that black people got a good nature. They wasn't cutting the hands and the feet off their brother. They didn't want to do that. So what King Leopold did is he started counting the hands. He had them bring him bags of hands, and he wanted to know how many hands you done cut off. He keeping a record to see how many of these niggas' hands you done cut off, because we got this much bad rubber. So this many niggas' hands need to be in this bag. So how many hands we got? If we ain't got enough hands, we cutting your hands off. It's the white man. And to keep the hands lasting longer, they would smoke the hands and the feet like you do turkeys. So they'll last long, so he can keep the hands so they wouldn't go bad. It's the devil.
Right.
He wasn't born here in America with the white man in America, Henry Ford, but he a devil the same way.
That's right.
Then you can go down to South Africa. They had what, apartheid? Look at how they was treating the black man in South Africa. You got South Africa, Congo, and America. Then you go to Zimbabwe. The black people in Zimbabwe outnumbered the white man by millions.
Right.
Millions. But they took the country from the black man.
That's right.
Start naming the black man's country after the white man. Didn't give the black man nothing.
That's right.
That ain't the white man of America. That's the white man in Zimbabwe.
Right.
Then you got the white man in Kenya. You got the white man in Senegal. You got the white man all over the world.
That's right.
You got the white man in Mexico.
Right.
You got the white man in China. The Chinese.
Right.
Billions of Chinese.
Right.
But the white man took that opium in there with them Chinese.
Right.
Almost destroyed them Chinese people with opium. The white man. Anywhere you go.
That's right.
Go to Korea. Go to anywhere. Anywhere in the world, the white man's history is the same.
That's right.
All praise due to Allah.
Right.
So when you accept Islam, we don't love the white man in Islam.
That's right.
You got to totally cut him loose. Not only do we not love him, our God don't love
That's
the
right.
white man in Islam.
That's right.
Islam different than Christianity where you love everybody. We don't love everybody in Islam.
Right.
We just got to break the news to you. We don't love everybody in Islam.
That's right.
Our God don't love everybody. God loves the righteous and hates the wicked.
That's right.
All praise is due to Allah. That's what the Bible says.
Right.
That's why it's penalties in Islam to continue after you know your nature. After you know that the white man is the devil. After you know that his way of life didn't do nothing but give you injustice, slavery, suffering, and death. Then you go back to the white man and tell him, I want a bottle of Hennessy. I want some cigarettes. I want to go fornicate and cheat. No. After you know he the devil, and this is how he destroyed you. He destroyed all our countries with alcohol.
That's right.
He destroyed all our countries by dividing man against woman. He destroyed all our countries with cigarettes. He destroyed all our countries with his way. So in Islam, we don't accept the white man.
That's right.
That's nowhere in Islam. You got this recent CNN video. It says Saudi judge denies mother custody for being too Western.
Yeah.
It's Islam. We don't love the devil
Right.
in Islam. So this Arab messed around and married a devil. That's you. That's you. Now you done brought this devil over into a Muslim country. We got rules and laws. We ain't like in the West. You can do what you want to do. So this girl, she in our country now. We Muslims. So her mother is accepting that Western way. We ain't with that. So we ain't giving her custody of her own daughter. And it says, this is what the judge says. The judge says the mother is new to Islam, is a foreigner in this country, and continues to definitively embrace the customs and traditions of her upbringing. He says we must avoid exposing Zaini to these customs and traditions, especially at this early age. Islam. It says definitively. She definitively embracing her customs, these European customs. The messenger said you got a definitive agreement you make once you accept Islam. So she definitively accepted her thing, the Western thing, the drinking, the smoking, the fornicating and all that. She definitively accepting that, but we definitively accepting Islam. And she in a Muslim country. So we're not going to allow her to ruin this little girl with these Western customs. That's just how it is. Because it's accept your own and be yourself. That's Islam. It ain't like Christianity. You can fake it and be something that you're not. In Christianity, you can be a homosexual. You can be gay. They elect homosexual. The lady in Chicago, she's a gay mayor. She's a lesbian. You can't do that in Islam. Be no lesbian. You got to be what you are. Woman be a woman. Man be a man. Every man has a duty every woman got to do. So what you look like talking about you a woman and you a man? That's Christianity. And when you become a part of Islam, you got to cut that loose. Because we don't play those games in Islam. So the messenger says, now the God of justice is before us. Let's talk about the God of justice for a minute. Because we in Islam don't believe in a spook God. We believe that God is a man. So if the messenger is saying that God is before us, and we believe that God is a man, we don't see God right here with us right now. So how does that work? We was talking about Henry Ford. Henry Ford came up with a revolutionized way to make cars, which was the assembly line. That was Henry Ford's idea. Henry Ford revolutionized manufacturing with the assembly line. Now you have today, all car manufacturers use the assembly line. Is that right or wrong? Now, how many of those people that work in those plants ever seen Henry Ford? Never saw him in your life. But you still carry into practice his idea. Is that right or wrong? You don't have to see him. For years after this man died, they still carrying into practice his idea. Got another example. Thomas Edison. He is responsible, they say, for lighting up America. How many of us have seen Thomas Edison? Thomas Edison introduced his idea to the people because he had some competition. He had another person who had another idea. And I forget his name. But this person had an idea too. So Thomas Edison introduced his idea to the people. And the other person, what's his name? Tesla, that's his name. Ron Tesla introduced his idea. So the people had the option to choose which one you want. You want Edison or you want Tesla? So the people chose Thomas Edison. And since they chose Thomas Edison, even after Thomas Edison is no longer among us, we still carrying into practice his idea. Because his idea is still before us. So it's the same with Allah. We believe that God is a man. We don't believe that God is a spook. We don't believe that God is a spirit because God has always been a man. He's always been a black man. And his wisdom has always been supreme. Just like how Henry Ford's wisdom is supreme when it comes to the assembly line. So everybody imitates Henry Ford when it comes to car manufacturing. Thomas Edison, his idea was supreme. So the whole world follows after Thomas Edison's idea.
Yeah.
That's how men operate.
Right.
It ain't spooky.
That's right.
God don't have to be here for you to practice his laws.
That's right.
God don't have to be here to rule.
Mm-hmm.
God don't have to be here to punish you. It's all in it.
Right. That's right.
It's all in it.
That's right.
It's in it before you even made the choice.
That's right.
It's in it.
Right.
Whether you accept it or reject it.
That's right.
It's all in it. Everything is already set in motion.
That's right.
So just like Thomas Edison and Tesla, Allah standing here. His opponent is the white man.
That's right.
The white man opposing Allah.
Right.
The white man got his way of life. Beer, wine, and lotto. MGM. Homosexuality. Allah got his way. And Allah through his messenger showed us what we could do with Islam. Black people know that too. The more you know, or if you know anything about Islam in America, you know a little something about the message. A little something. You might not know everything about them, but you know those Muslims. Something different about the Muslims than everybody else.
Right.
Something different. So I was a lost found too. When I first accepted Islam, I didn't know everything about the message, but I knew there's something different about this.
Right.
There's something different about calling the white man the devil. Because that's what got me, that white man's the devil thing. I like that.
Right.
I like the white man's the devil. That sounds more real to me,
Right.
to call the white man the devil.
Right.
It sounds more real to me to tell me that God hates the devil than he loves him. Just keep it real.
Right.
That sounds real to me, to see what the white man has done to us. And you mean to tell me ain't no God nowhere that love us more than he love the devil?
Right.
Even if he do love the devil, because you love your children. But if one of your children do something to the other child, you gonna punish the child who do something to the other child he ain't supposed to be doing.
That's right.
Why God ain't did nothing to the devil? He ain't sent us no help. He ain't sent us no God, no nothing. We just gotta love the devil? No. So when I heard that the white man was the devil and that God, I like that.
Right.
That all praise due to Allah. That makes sense to me.
Yes.
It makes sense that one day these people gonna pay for what they did to the black man.
That's right.
That makes sense. What's wrong with that? Because when you read in the scriptures, God always had a people. God didn't come with Lot to save everybody. He was coming for Lot now.
Right.
That's right.
When God with Pharaoh, God didn't come to save Pharaoh's people. He came for Moses now.
That's right.
So all them years in Christianity, we hearing about God's people.
Right.
But when we hear we God's people, that's when we got the problem. Because if the white man God's people, we don't care nothing about that. That sound good to us.
Right.
You know, the white man God's people. God love the white man. So when we hear that God loves us and hates the white man, that's when we got the problem.
Right.
We ain't got no problem with all this other stuff. Even with the spook God stuff. If the spook God is white, we ain't got no problem with that. But when the God becomes black, that's when we got the problem.
Right.
Because the same things that them Jews and them white folks said about God and how he loved them and how they chose, and that's what we say about our God. All praise due to Allah. And we get more flack from black people than anybody else.
Right.
Right.
Because white people learn to respect you as a Muslim. After a while, when they see that's what you gonna be, they just respect you.
Yes.
But it's black people who had a problem with the black God and the black stuff. Why you talk all that black? Because I am black.
Right.
What else I'm supposed to talk about? But if I talk that Christian stuff, that love everybody stuff, then I'm cool.
Right.
But when I start talking that black talk, then it's a problem. That's all in Islam.
Right.
Black talk.
Right.
We don't talk no white talk. All praise due to Allah. Our God is here to destroy the white man. That's the facts. Because the messenger saying what he said over and over and over again, because he wanted to stress the point to us about the decision.
Right.
So in this 1974 article, the messenger had Sister Marjorie Hassan, and her article says Muhammad, God to peace. Because Islam means peace.
Yes.
That's
And
right.
the one thing that you will notice about Muslims say what the messenger said. So So if you read the Messenger's article or you read a Muslim's article, it's the same. Because a Muslim say what the Messenger says. So Sister Marjorie Hassan says, the devil never taught us Islam. So they proved themselves to be no guide to peace for we black people. The devil could not guide us to peace unless he taught Islam. And the devil could not teach us Islam, for the devil was not made by nature to teach us Islam, peace. The devil was made by nature to destroy peace.
Yes.
Now what black person should have a problem with that? The white man never led us to peace. If you look at those beer, wine, and lotto, what's peaceful in that? If you play the lotto, what's the peace? You gambling your money away. Ain't no guarantee you gonna win, and you ain't got no money as it is. Then you wasting your money on alcohol. What's that gonna do for you? But create a habit that you still can't afford, so now you playing the lotto, you drinking alcohol, and you wasting your money. So what's that gonna produce in your life? What kind of peace? But if you accept Islam and just get rid of those three things, look at how much more peace your life will be. All praise to Allah. Because a lot of times we look at the rules like, oh man, all these rules these Muslims got, especially when they come to eat. Look at how much happier you would be if you ate right. If you eat hog and all these fried foods and bad foods and you run into the doctor wasting more money because they're not trying to heal you. They're just experimenting on you. So what kind of peace do you have? But when you have good health, they say health is wealth. So what problem do black people should they have with Islam? You eating right, you thinking right, you're around your brothers and sisters, and your God loves you and hates the devil. What more can you ask for? All praises to Allah. Everything in Islam is in favor of the black man. Everything in Islam. So when God gives us this decision, it's in our favor. We're not making a decision that's against us, that's going to hurt us. This going to hurt us. Christianity, because it's been hurt us. But when we become Muslims, we accept our own natural way of life. You being natural. Loving your black brother is natural. It's natural for you. That's why black people talk about how we don't get along. We can't stick together because it's natural for you to want to get along with your brother. It's natural for you when you see other people who can unite, open up business. Why we can't do it? So in Islam, you just accepting your own natural way of life. It's natural to love your brother. It's natural to love yourself. That's natural. It's natural to love yourself. Every other people love themselves. Every other people got a religion that's in their faith. I don't care what religion it is. If they make up a religion, everything in it gonna be in their faith. But we're the only people who got a religion that's not in our favor. It's in the favor of the white man. We gotta love him. We gotta let him lie to us. We gotta let him cheat on us. And through all of this, God don't do nothing for us but do everything for the white man. Then when we get to heaven, we still gotta see the white man. And he get to get equally what we get. All this hell we've been catching from them, and then when you get to heaven, it's like they on the same level. We don't get no special, nothing from the God from all this love we doing to the white man. Nothing. So no, Islam is a different religion. And we know in Islam that the white man cannot lead us to peace. Because in Islam, we make the distinctions between the white man and the black man. That's something that you will learn quick in Islam from the messenger. He always talking about the white man. Always letting us know that we can't trust the white man and he the devil. And the devil is in us. We got to know that too. So we're going to read an article from this brother. I thought this was a pretty good article. This brother's article, this is in what Islam has done for me. This brother's article is called Islam Taught Me My Wrongdoings Not Really Mine, Rather Those of the White Man. It's Islam. It ain't me, it's him. So this brother said, since I was given the opportunity to increase my understanding in the Nation of Islam, I realized that the wrongdoings I committed were not really my wrongdoings at all. They were simply the habits, ways, or teachings of the white slave master which had been skillfully passed on to me. That's Islam. The devil skillfully put all of his foolishness and filth in us.
That's right.
Because when our first parents came here to America, the white man treated the parents good. He treated the parents good and made them think everything was all right. Then when they had babies, they killed the parents and kept the babies.
Right.
So now they can teach the babies what they want to teach.
That's right.
Teach them to be a good nigga.
That's right.
Teach them to be a Christian. Teach them to love white folks.
Right.
And that worked for them for 400 years. So for 400 years, they were free to teach us anything they wanted to teach us.
That's right.
And you know that the white man taught us everything that he wanted to teach us, and we still love it today by our names. It's a choice now. Definitive choice. We all know what the white man did to us. We know what they did to us during slavery. We can watch it on TV. They can come out with all kind of movies. But we'll still wear their names. Jenkins, Jackson, Jones, Smith, and Culpeper. When we know. Even Alex Haley did all that work to research his people, and he didn't take the name Kente.
That's right.
He's still Alex Haley.
That's right.
We love the devil.
That's right.
Because the devil had 400 years to teach us how to love him and hate ourselves.
That's right.
So instead of us now saying, shoot, now we got a choice, I choose, I want my own name.
Right.
I don't want to wear Jenkins no more.
Right.
I know how I got Jenkins. But we still love the devil. So we wouldn't change it. If Allah didn't come and tell us to change it and raise a messenger for us, we all still be Jenkins, Jackson, Jones, and Culpeper. I didn't never think about that until I came to the temple. All them roots I used to watch. I used to love to watch roots.
Right.
Know the lines. Know the different scenes.
Right.
Still didn't never think about changing my name.
Right.
Never. Never thought about stop eating hog. None of that. Seeing how they forced the hog on Kente.
Right.
Seeing how he didn't want to eat it. Seeing how he fought back not to eat it. He smacked the hog out like I'd rather starve than eat some hog.
Right.
Still, I didn't think about not eating hog. I'm eating hog watching like, hey, look at Coochie. Never thought about changing and stop eating hog. That's how the white man for 400 years was able to teach us to love. So now we got a choice. Black people should choose Islam.
Right.
Yes.
All black people should choose Islam. What you got to lose?
Right.
You know what you getting in Christianity.
Right.
Now in Islam, you know all your filthy habits came from the white man.
That's right.
All praise due to Allah.
That's okay.
Then the brother says, he says his system, radio, television, newspaper, books, magazines, movie houses, schools, churches, liquor stores, pool rooms, and his filthy personal character had taken effect upon my mind through constant exposure until I was being referred to as having the devil in me, his ideas, thoughts, and desires. All that. That's what the messenger taught us. Because before the messenger in Christianity, they, being good Christians, didn't even say, look, black man, now you got the option now. You should choose your name. Since they good Christians and they love everybody, why they ain't tell us like, look, man, go ahead and have your own name now. Since we all good Christians and they ain't the same kind of white people, why they ain't tell us that? Like, now you can know about your history, man. This what y'all used to do. They still won't tell you. In 2019, the white man still won't encourage black people to get their own name.
That's right.
I remember the first time I really saw the importance of a name. Because even after accepting Islam and getting the name, I never saw it until this one particular time, this Arab person. I was talking to this brother about Islam. I didn't know he was listening. But when he saw I was a Muslim, he came out there and said, you know what? Said, you right. Said, the one thing I don't understand about black people, say, I don't mean no offense. It's like, how can y'all wear another man's name? He had to say that. He said, since he a Muslim now I can tell him, because I be seeing these black people all the time and I don't understand why could you wear another man's name? And he went on and on about, he was like, I'd rather die before I wear some other man's name. And I'm looking at the brother like, you know, big from him. He said he'll die before he'll wear another man's name. He didn't even talk about nothing else in Islam. He didn't talk about no hog or nut. But he didn't understand. How can you now, today, when you got a choice, still wear another man's name? It's because we love the devil. And his way has been so thoroughly ingrained in us that he made us a mockery to the world.
That's right.
Other people can come look at us. Hey, look at these niggas. Look at how they act. Look how much of a fool they is for the white man. Still wearing his name, still eating hog. They forced us to eat hog.
Right.
They come out now and tell you how poisonous hog is.
That's right.
How it give you cancer.
Right.
But McDonald's still sell just as much hog. They ever so. Popeyes sell hog. Everybody sell hog to the black man. Even after the white man tell us the truth about the hog.
Right.
Why? In Christianity, they teach us how to love the devil.
That's right.
Not love no human being. They teach you how to love the devil. That's what they teach you in Christianity. But in Islam, we don't love the devil. And the white man is the devil.
That's right.
In Islam, all praise be to Allah.
That's right.
So, Sister Marjorie Hassan goes on to say, she says, black brothers and sisters, we must unite. We must join on to our own holy nation of Islam, the nation of peace, the people of peace. For Allah God has given to us our black brother, Messenger Muhammad, the guide to peace. Because the one thing about accepting Islam, we got to understand, we don't know what it is. We need a guide to guide us. Because we can't get in Islam and then start thinking we know. You still need a guide. God raised a guide for us.
That's right.
To continue to teach us the right way. Because after we change our name, stop eating hog, and clean ourselves up, it's still more we need to learn.
That's right.
Because we got to learn how to do for self.
Right.
Because cleaning up ain't it. It's a lifelong process. Then we got to get other people to join on to our nation of Islam. That's what accepting your own and being yourself mean. You accept the nation of Islam. Because everything else is Christianity.
Right.
They might not call themselves Christians. But if you're not a follower of the message in the nation of Islam, you're a Christian. You following some form of the white man's world. Because Islam is here to rule.
Right.
Islam ain't here just to set up some temples. Islam is here to be established all over the world.
Right.
So once we accept our own and make this definitive decision, we're saying we're accepting our place in the nation of Islam, in our nation, and help to build our nation of Islam. So the messenger goes on to say in the article, he says, we have no objection to that person who makes up his mind to remain in what he is already in. It's a free choice. It's not a choice that you made, because we was made to accept Christianity under the white man.
That's right.
They made us eat hog. They made us change our names. They made us act a fool. But in Islam, it is a definitive decision that you make. And that's why we have a checking procedure. To make sure your mind is free and clear of everything so you can make a definitive decision. So we don't let people in here drunk. We don't let people in here high. Because this decision is an important decision that you're making for the rest of your life.
Right.
So that's why we got a check procedure, just like when you go to Canada. They got a check procedure.
Right.
Because it's two different nations. It's things that you can do in America that you can't do in Canada.
Right.
So they checking you to let you know we don't accept this, but we do accept this. And it's the same with the nation of Islam. Two different nations. Two different set of rules. So we got a check procedure. It's not nothing to hurt nobody. We just want to check you to let you know this is what we accept, this is what we don't accept. Because it's two different nations. We want to get you into the idea that this is something different than the church. Dylan Roof wouldn't have been able to do what he did in that church if they had a check procedure. Just check his bag. Like, what you got in your bag? What you need to bring something in your bag for? You can carry your Bible. Why you got a backpack? And you a white man. If they believed that the white man was the devil, they would have been alive today. Just those two simple things that Islam teach. First of all, the devil can't come to the temple unless it's Savior's Day.
That's right.
Devils don't have free access to come in and out of the temple when they get ready.
That's right.
So if they would have believed in Islam and just had the simple procedures that the messenger taught us that's basic, they would be alive today. But they love the devil. Even us as black people, the simple basic stuff. Don't trust the white man. Accept your own and be yourself. Other people will recognize you and love you simply from that.
Right.
Seeing that you're trying to be yourself as a black man.
Right.
they will automatically respect you being a Muslim because they know what the white man did to us. They know we wearing his names. They know we act a fool. We know the white man divided us. So when we accept Islam and try to clean ourselves up, we automatically get respect.
Right.
All praise is due to Allah.
Yes,
So the messenger says, however, this announcement of great importance is laid before you and me so that we may come to some kind of decision, agreement on what we shall do about the truth of this announcement. The announcement is the truth. It is asking us to decide on whether or not we are going to accept the truth or remain in falsehood. It is up to us to make the decision. It is called the day of decision. Decide this day which God you shall serve, the God of freedom, justice, equality, or the same old wicked God whose rule Allah is here to bring to an end. So we got to understand that this thing is coming to an end.
That's right.
And you can tell by the white man's society. The new technology that they coming up with is not improving your quality of life. They just coming up with more filth and indecency. They had the LGBT, then they got the queers, then they just keep coming up with more and more and more filth. Yeah. The president ain't the president. He tell thousands of lies. Yes. Thousands of lies. And they'll tell you how many lies he tell.
That's right.
Keep track of the lies. Right. But they ain't trying to get him out of office. Their world is falling. And they trying to take as many black people with them as they can.
That's right.
That's the goal. They allowing us to make us think we're a part of this. So we can go down with them. What good is in the white man's world now? When you would allow in school little children, teaching them about gays and transsexuals. I even saw they let the gays and transsexuals come to the school and had the kids sitting on their lap while they read them stories. What's good about that? When we was coming up, they wasn't doing that. I don't remember that. We still had them brothers who acted kind of feminine, but they ain't never say they was gay. Right. We wasn't accepting that. What you mean you gay? Because we could say something then, you can't even say nothing now.
That's right.
If them kids want to be identified, if he a boy and he want to be identified as a girl, the teacher got to identify him as a girl. They got to let him wear high heels. It's Christianity. Yes. It's on its way out. And that's why the messenger said we got a definitive decision to make. Because the white man is on his way out.
That's right.
And he continued to tell us and warn us about the white man. And this is in the message to the black man. It's called Allah, the best knower. It says, what I am trying to make clear is that white people do not believe in Allah and Islam or the prophets of Allah. Why then should you seek the truth of it from them? You will soon come to know that you should not seek any truth for them. It's a separation in Islam. Yes. Just like with this. They not allowing this mother to teach this girl nothing. We ain't seeking no truth from you. She in a Muslim country now. She under our rules, and we not letting your white European influence affect this girl. She a Muslim now. Because when you in a Muslim country, it's different.
Right.
You can't even drink alcohol in an airplane flying over a Muslim country.
That's right.
That's how a Muslim country is. But we in the West, because the one thing about being in the military I learned, they program you in the West to believe that all them rules and stuff is make them so hardcore. And when we was in them countries and seeing how peaceful it was, everybody believed the same thing. Everybody on the same page. What one of them liked, the other one didn't like. It was beautiful. See that? If one person spit on the ground, everybody don't like it. Right. So when you get beat up by them, ain't nobody trying to have no lawyers for you. You shouldn't have did it. Right. That's how it is. And that's peace. Yes. When everybody believe the same thing. All praise due to Allah. When I was in the Muslim country and I saw for the first time Muslims go and pray. Because we was in Turkey. And in the military, they always got their little military or American spot where we can drink. And this is no lie. We drinking. In the Muslim country while they going to pray. So I'm looking like, what is they doing? Because you can hear them singing the prayer over the loudspeaker. You see everybody walking over to the thing. I'm like, wow. Like, what's going on? Everybody going to pray. Everybody stop work. People come out of the stores. It's just so peaceful. It's just different. When you in America and this person a Christian, this person an atheist, this person gay, this person don't mind seeing brothers walk down the street half naked and sagging. It ain't like that in other countries. When you go to another country, they all on the same page. That's unity. Everybody accept their own and they be themselves.
Right.
Another thing that I seen when we was in Turkey, because they used to have to tell us the culture of the people. Because those men over there, that's the one thing I noticed in other countries. Men are different in other countries than in America. Men in America will let other men look at your daughters and your wives any kind of way they want to. Overseas? Nah, brother. They had to let us know quick when we was in the Muslim countries. They could kill you. If you look at their daughter in their eye, better not look at them, because the America can't do nothing for you. Oh, ain't no, oh, let me holler at you. None of that. When it's straight and narrow. Now, at first it seems strict, but once you be around there and see how it go, that's peace.
Yes.
You ain't got to worry about nobody hollering at your daughter, trying to get her pregnant, trying to wait till you ain't home. Because all the men, it ain't just the father, all the men see you and they don't like it. Say, this American. Got to get him out of here. That's why them people hate America. Because the white man, he ain't got no rules.
Right.
He want to sleep with your daughter.
That's right.
He want to make you feel like it's okay for your daughter to have a boyfriend. That boyfriend stuff is American Western culture. That ain't got nothing to do with Islam.
Right.
When you a Muslim, you marrying my daughter.
That's right.
Ain't no girlfriend and boyfriend and we holding hands and you in the house, in the basement, ain't nobody down there with you. That's Christianity, brother.
Right.
And when you go to a Muslim country and see them men, you respect them. Because they men. They don't play no game. They tell what the man say go. And the women, they submissive to the man. And we think in America, that's something wrong. That's peace.
Yes.
They got peace. They got families. They got sons who can look up to their father. Say, my father take care of the house. My father protects us. My father provides for us. That's over there in the Muslim country. Because they don't play no games. And when they have people stealing, everybody come out to watch them get stoned. It ain't no big deal to them to be like, oh, no. We'll be like, oh, they should, no. Get him. We got peace over here.
Right.
We can leave our doors open and he's stealing, get him. Ain't no reason, all praise due to Allah. Ain't no reason for you to steal in no Muslim country. They'll give you stuff. They had in Japan, we went to Japan, to show you how different countries is. When they practice some form of righteousness, they got what they call the lost and found in Japan. Where if you lose an umbrella, you walking down the street, you lose an umbrella, people will pick your umbrella up and take it to the lost and found. Your umbrella. They got, in the lost and found, they got a whole bunch of stuff that people turned in and nobody came in and claimed. But they don't just say, oh, there go an umbrella, let me take your umbrella. No. And when you go to these countries and see like a whole country can be for righteousness, it's amazing.
Right.
That's how what Allah is trying to set up for us, the whole world.
Right.
Righteousness. It's our nature to be righteous.
Right.
Because when you be around that, you love it. Many people from the military go to these countries and don't come back. Because I'm telling you, to see a people that's united, that's all on one page, that's something to see.
Right.
See all the men protecting the women. To see when you walking down the street, you won't see people trying to look at the women and trying to catcall and all that. They had in Houston just the other day. These two brothers with the catcalling thing. This brother came into the gas station. All these people there now. The brother catcalled his woman, they say, or said something to her. He pulled out his gun and started shooting. All them people there. They was in a Muslim country, he wouldn't have to worry about that. Because all the men know what it is. Because all them brothers would have been on this one with the cat call. But in our society, by nature, you don't want nobody talking to your woman like that.
Right.
It's natural. You don't want nobody looking at your woman. Even if she is dressed half naked, you don't like nobody looking. Even as savage as we be, and our women be half naked, you still don't like brothers looking at her. That's natural. You don't want that. So if you was in a Muslim country practicing your own nature, it's natural. And once you be around righteous people, it's more natural for you than to be around Christianity. You just accepting your own and being yourself. All praise is due to Allah, brothers and sisters. We don't want to prolong the time. So I leave you as I came in the nation of Islam's greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, Thee alone do we serve, Thee alone seek for Thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom Thou bestow Thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard Thy teachings. Say He, Allah is one God. Allah is He of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is He begotten, there is none like Him. And I bear witness that none is to be served, worship, or praised besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves, and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.
Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Kareem's Bean Pie is also available at Davison Fresh Fish Market, 1520 East 7 Mile Road in Detroit. Royal Fresh Fish and Seafood, 11429 East 7 Mile Road in Detroit. And Great Canadian Fish, Chicken, and Seafood, 7601 East 7 Mile Road